So what is anchoring? And what's that got to do with marketing? And what has that got to do with Goldilocks and the Three Bears? Let's head off into fairy tale land and see. And if you stick with me to the end, we'll clarify what it means to you, the marketeer, the business owner, the managing director. Once upon a time, Goldilocks found herself in the wood again. Goldilocks huffed, her stomach growling with a sympathy of discontent. Lost again in the woods, she stumbled upon a quaint log cabin, emblazoned with a cheerful sign, the Three Bears Breakfast Nook. Memories of a previous encounter with porridge of varying temperatures flashed in her mind. But the aroma of brewing porridge was too much to resist. Pushing open the door, a little bell tinkled and a gruff voice boomed.
Wow, 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 look who it is. Back for another sample? I hope you don't make as much mess this time.
Papa Bear, a burly fellow with an impressive beard, eyed her suspiciously. Goldilocks smiled.
Good morning, Mr. Bear. I'm lost again, I'm afraid. And your porridge smells divine.
Porridge indeed,
boomed Papa Bear, pulling out a large menu with paw prints adorning the corners.
We've diversified since you were here last. Can I tempt you with Yogi's all-you-can-eat breakfast? Lovely pancakes, bacon, eggs and bottomless porridge. With honey, of course, all for a mere £12.
Goldilocks' head spun.
£12 for breakfast?
She may be lost, but she wasn't foolish.
Thank you, but that's too much,
she murmured, her stomach grumbling louder now. Papa Bear chuckled, his smile widening.
No worries. We have the option for every appetite, perhaps something a bit lighter. What about basic bear porridge? Just the oats, no frills, and a steal at £3.
Goldilocks pondered for a moment. It did sound nice, but would no doubt stop her feeling hungry, but it wasn't quite right. It wasn't just right.
But can I have a touch of honey in mine?
Goldilocks chirped. Papa Bear tapped the menu with a thick finger.
Ah, you want the honey bear's delight, with a generous dollop of local honey, paired perfectly with a steaming cup of our signature roast, just for £6. A steal and a taste sensation.
Goldilocks' jaws dropped.
£6 for porridge and coffee? Well, actually, I don't like coffee.
Papa Bear smiled.
No coffee, but it complements the honey so beautifully.
Goldilocks sighed. £5.50 was more than she wanted to pay for a bowl of porridge. But in comparison to Yogi's all-you-can-eat breakfast, it was much cheaper, and she did love honey.
OK, fine,
she grumbled, and she placed the order. As she savoured the warm honeyed porridge, a sly smile came across Papa Bear's face. See, Missy, sometimes a little nudge in the right direction is all you need. Goldilocks scowled. Even though the porridge was just right, she realised she'd been played. The lack of just porridge with honey on the menu and having to pay extra to include coffee that she didn't want to drink was clever tactics to push customers towards the more expensive option. As she was leaving, Mr. Bear gave her a loyalty card with 1 stamp for the bowl of porridge and 2 free stamps. She looked at it, surprised, but that was a story for another day. Leaving the Three Bears Breakfast Nook, a newfound respect for strategic pricing settled in Goldilocks' stomach, alongside the delicious, albeit overpriced porridge. Maybe getting lost wasn't so bad after all. So that's the end of our story, and that's at the end of our visit to Fairy Tale Land today. So what does that mean in reality? What does that mean to you if you run a business or in your marketing department? Well, no doubt we've all got pricing structures involved in our businesses, and Mr. Bear used a very clever behavioural science trick to manage the relationship and the purchase he had with his customer. By having an overpriced option on the menu, it meant that when Goldilocks looked at the second option of the porridge with the coffee, it looked cheap in comparison to the very expensive all-you-can-eat breakfast. So it became a better option for her. But again, it wasn't perfect for her. It wasn't just right, because it ultimately had something that she didn't want in there. But that allowed Mr. Bear to increase the price of the offer. So forcing her not having the honey within the basic package meant that she had to purchase the increased price package, which had the honey in it, but with additional coffee to justify the increased cost. So ultimately, Mr. Bear got an increased value to his sale and encouraged the Goldilocks to purchase the item that he wanted her to buy. So this can be tactics that we can use when you're talking about your price structure. If you've got products and services and you have a simple structure of 3 items, I'd advise you to think about adding a rather expensive item to value the item that you want to purchase at a higher level, and anchor the actual cost. So what about the loyalty cards? Well, here's another story from Fairy Tale Land all about them. And if it's not out yet, then you can watch this video about shoes and market orientation.